Kia ora, Rana, welcome back. So today is the day that I have wrapped up my role at the tech company I was working for, and I'm all in with Kapa Ora Collective. And I was thinking to myself before, whew, you know, how do you do it? How do you leap? And one thing I know for sure why I'm able to leap is because my soul has got a loud mouth. And whilst I can pretend like I didn't hear what it's telling me and where it's ushering me to go or encouraging me to explore, the other thing that I have in my life experience is sensitive hearing. So I've very sensitive hearing. I hear things that maybe other people don't hear. Um, I need quiet environments to really, you know, focus because sounds are very loud. And so with my soul having a loud mouth and me having supersonic hearing, I know when I'm not listening. It's a choice. And it's just better off to listen. I'm better off to listen because when I pretend that I didn't hear, then my soul just starts yelling. And, over these years of doing my own inner work, I've become a lover, not a fighter. And so it's just easier to listen. But Not but. And the other thing, the reason why I don't have a great case against my soul and trying to convince it that, no, we're better off just staying, here, is because of what this work has done in my life, the changes that I've seen, right? I often think, why can't you just be a little old good citizen, good Samaritan, and just stay your ass put in these many roles that I've had in tech companies, that many people would like really want. Why can't you just sit your ass down, keep your mouth shut, do what you needed to do, and just be a good citizen? Well, as I told you, my soul's got a loud mouth. And even though I was in those environments and grateful, there was a lot of contention, there was a lot of tension as I would be in these environments. um there were reminders that I was not going to be here for long. And so you might be someone who is creating a movement, a business. You might be doing things that create impact in the world, or you're on a certain mission that is not all the way traditional. Like, you're having to find your way and you're having to um create a lot of the direction and pioneer it. And sometimes on our path, it can feel like life has stopped cooperating with us. Like, what I mean by that is what was once quite easy to achieve, like, would take action and it was quite easy, and we think we'll just keep following that strategy. At some points in our life, it can seem like life is not cooperating and those ways are no longer working. That is a point. That is a point in your journey, in the journey, where life is saying what you've done and how you've taken action up until this point has been, to use these certain systems, and that's been all good up until this point. But where you say you're going next actually requires you to up level your strategies. And more than that, it's requiring you to understand yourself deeper. There's some things within you that you need to go in and unearth and understand in order to go on that next stretch. And that's why it can feel like sometimes on the journey, life has stopped cooperating, or things that were once easy, things that once worked, are not giving you the same response, are not giving you the same output as they once did. And that's your soul's way of flicking your ear and saying, hey, slow down, stop, and listen, right? So ultimately, this work for me has been about coming home to me, coming home and building a home within myself that I enjoy being in. Because I tell you right now, 10 years ago, I didn't like who I was. I didn't feel at home in my body. I didn't feel at home in myself. I was always trying to go to someone else's party. And over this decade has been about learning to build a home, a beautiful home within. You know, our inner world always reflects our outer world, or our outer world reflects our inner world. And if I even just look at my house, my physical home dwelling that I'm in now, and the beauty that I bring to it, that's a reflection of the beauty that I have and I hold within. Another way I want to put this is, it's like when, so I am from Aotearoa and Awaikinui, otherwise known on the map as the Cook Islands. But I grew up in Aotearoa, New Zealand. And all my family, my whānau, live back in Aotearoa. And when my spirit, when my wairua is getting low, I know it's time to return home. You know, when there are blocks, when things aren't as easy, I know it's time to return home to my whānau, to my family, to my whenua, to the lands that have nurtured my family for generations. I know it's time to go home. Life is, life has its ways of calling us back home. And so to stay with this example of me going home to my actual family, my whānau, when I feel blocked, I know it's time to return home, so I book a flight and I go home. And then because I live so far away in another country, okay, I've prioritized bringing them with me. So I have Messenger, and we can call each other at any time and talk story and catch up. But more than that, I've prioritized learning my whakapapa, where I come from, who I come from, the places I come from, the stories of those places, of those people. And I make it a priority to sing the songs that my ancestors sung. And I make it a priority to, learn my languages, my reo, at my pace. This is not about me being fluent or, getting somewhere by anyone else's measure. It's about me keeping those fires stoked. So that's how I bring home with me. So now let me just switch lenses back to how this applies to us as individuals doing our inner work. Doing our inner work. First, we've got to listen to those calls home, right? Because for a good chunk of our lives, we've been encouraged to seek worth and seek satisfaction and seek validation and all of those things outside of ourselves. We're not taught in school or in society how to listen to our inner world. We're not taught that. And so naturally we grow up navigating through life through the voices outside of us. This work that I'm dedicating my life to doing is about guiding people back home to be able to listen to what is inside and to be able to build a home within themselves that they love and that they want to keep coming back to and they want to take with them everywhere that they go. This is not about building a home within and then staying there forever and locking ourselves up in isolation. This is about building a home that we love to come back to, but also building a home, a vision of ourselves where we know ourselves that we can take out into the world and collaborate and connect and contribute to other communities by taking ourselves, our full expression out into the world and being confident in that. So this work is about coming home and we have to slow down to do that. We have to prioritize slowing down instead of always being on the go, 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 go. Now, it depends what your human design is, but there's a way for a projector to slow down and come inside, and there's also a way for a manager to slow down and come inside, right? The reason why I say that's a bit off topic is because, for a manifesting generator to be told to slow down could be like chalk on a chalkboard. And I get that. I don't mean actual slow down your pace, like in what you're doing and how you're doing it in the world. Just slowing down and prioritizing some space to understand, who you are, and prioritizing some time to take care of your inner world. So let's now just go back to why this is important. Well, I mentioned before about the tension, the contention, sometimes when we're out in the world taking action like we always have, and it can feel like life is not cooperating. That is a calling home. When things are not going the way that we plan them to go, that is a calling home. Okay? When we are being presented challenges and we don't have the skill set or the awareness to handle those, when the mountains seem a little bit taller than what we're used to dealing with, that is a calling home. That is your soul saying, get your ass home. And then it's whether we listen to that or not. We're always being called home because we're always dreaming and we're always daring to pursue something or create something or go on certain journeys. To go on new journeys requires new assets that all exist within ourselves. So this mātauranga, this knowledge that I share, is all centered around guiding people back home. Now, I see myself as a guide to get you to come back home because it can be, because it's a journey that if you haven't gone on it deeply before, it's nice to have someone there with you beside you as you journey through yourself. But once you get the hang of it, and once you find your feet and your wings, then it's up to you to fly out into the world. One thing I've always prioritized is that I'm not here to have people build reliance on, working with me. The end goal is always to fly sovereign. But now with the awareness and the knowledge to be able to tend to your home, to your inner world, and to build up the contrast, because we've already lived years of our lives away from home. And so the time spent, coming back home is now the contrast of being away from home. So now you've got the contrast of both being away from home or trying to stay away from home, staying outside of yourself and being reliant on the outside world and the voices and the noise and the opinions and the guidance of outside of yourself. And then through this work, you now have the experience of getting that guidance from within and building up that knowing of who you are from within with guidance to begin with. And then once you've done that a few times where you have the patterns, then you're able to be at home and then go out into the world and take all of who you are and take the confidence and the knowing of who you are out into the world. Therefore, you're more authentic. Then you can come home as needed when you need a top up, right? And then you can go back out and you can come back home and go back out and come back home. And it's a dedication. It's a shift from just existing outside of yourself to a shift of prioritizing your home. So when I think about that and everything that this work means, I'm like, this is why I leapt. You know, this is why. Yes, it is somewhat makes me somewhat nervous to have to speak on this over and over again online, although you might not be able to tell because I'm always online talking. Um, but I am human. I do have nerves there. And I do have, you know, I just wish people would come and find me in my cave kind of feels. But I know that I need to be out there and sharing this and sharing it with confidence and sharing it with conviction. You know, this has worked. This has been, I don't even know who I would be without going down this path. I saw a post here, just this morning actually, from another person online. I haven't actually spoken with them one on one, but they've been in my field, and they wrote a post about, you know, for a lot of us who who choose to share the knowledge like I'm sharing, we didn't choose this path, rather it chose us, and it chose us through our life experiences that we experienced, and then we sort of found our way to the knowledge to help ourselves first, and then over the years we've seen the difference that it's made. We've seen the impact that it's made, not only to our own lives but to that of our families, of our close circle, our friends, to, you know, to the clients that come in. If we have a business, the clients that have come in and chosen to, you know, dedicate their time and their resources to doing this work, we've seen firsthand the impact, the shifts, the changes that have happened. And so, you know, it first starts off with us who are sharing this knowledge grabbing a hold of it because it was what we needed to stay alive, to stay sane, to stay grounded. And then it evolved into a natural sharing because of what it has done in our own experience and what we've seen it do for others. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to this voyage ahead. I'm looking forward to those of you that I meet along the way. I've already met some beautiful people, and it's only month one. You know, I'm looking forward to the stories that are exchanged on the Native Navigation podcast, which will be the basis for a lot of the work that I do in the world. Um, this is important work. I was also thinking just yesterday, I'm not cut out to be on social media. You know, all these people are like making funny videos and they're really short and, you know, make you laugh. I'm not here to make you laugh, although I am funny. But I'm not just here to make you laugh. I'm not just here to, you know, watch me for a few seconds, have a laugh and scroll on. I'm not here to teach you how to cook, although I'm an awesome cook. I'm here to firstly inspire you to come home to yourself. Then secondly, if I am the guide for you, then I'm here to walk by your side as you come home. That's what I'm here to share online. And I know it's different to a lot of what's out there, but I still have to take up that space. And, you know, those people that are out there making you laugh, they make me laugh too, you know, when I'm having a bad day. So everyone has their place and there's enough space for everybody. This work to me is needed in the world, um, for those that are at those places where they feel the tension, where they're trying to move and there's blocks. It's time to come in. It's time to come home. Yeah. Kia ora. And if you've watched this and you're like, okay, I want to come home, firstly, just have a look on the kapaoracollective.com website. Just step into my online house or the online house I've been asked to build is probably a more appropriate way to put it. Step inside that whare, that house, and go and have a feel around. There's offerings on there that you can feel into, and ways that we can, begin that journey together, if that's what feels correct. So I'm going to leave it here, and yeah, thank you for being here. And I look forward to the voyage ahead. Kia ora.